In our previous episode, we freshened up Evan Hartzel's OXCR Expert Class points leading race quad with a full round of hard parts and exhaust system from HMF, with which to finish up the 2022 season. We also installed a set of GPS Beadlock wheels and larger GBC Groundbuster 3 tires for testing. The YFZ then received a fresh new look with graphics from FTR Power Sports. Now, we'll put the HMF YFZ450R to the test on the cross-country race course at East Fork MX in New Vienna, Ohio, a track where Evan is known for winning. At the heart of this YFZ450R cross-country racer build is HMF's Performance Series full exhaust system. It's claimed to pick up 6 horsepower and 4 foot-pounds of torque over stock, HMF's original exhaust series. The Performance Series features a stainless steel head and mid-pipe, with mounts for the stock heat shield on the header. The silencer features a 4-inch aluminum shell with a 2 1/8-inch core, featuring a special hole pattern that allows the exhaust to better dissipate power gains throughout the RPM range. The Performance Series puts out around 100 to 105 decibels of sound, with an optional quiet core reducing sound output by 3 to 6 decibels. A spark arrestor comes included, which we shelved for racing. The most customizable exhaust we've seen. The silencer body can be ordered in a round or elliptical shape, in a brushed aluminum finish, or powder-coated a number of colors. There are even different end cap styles to choose from. The end cap and head pipe can be blacked out in a heat and stain resistant black ceramic coating which helps dissipate heat. With a Vortex ECU reflashed by B&R Motorsports, there was no need for additional tuning for the HMF exhaust. HMF's heel guard set for the YFZ450R is designed to blend lightweight construction with heavy-duty durability. The set includes aluminum heel guard frames made from premium grade 1 1/4-inch 120 thousandths aluminum tubing, steel foot pegs, extra rigid steel foot peg cages, and thick nylon nets, available in various colors. HMF makes bumpers for either motocross or cross-country applications, which we're using. HMF's bumpers for the YFZ450R X are built of premium grade 120 thousandths wall 6063 T52 aluminum. It greatly increases front-end protection compared to the stock front bumper. Feeling both light and rigid, fitment was perfect. The looped sides provide a much greater area to grab onto when lifting the front of the quad. A built-in skid plate helps keep the front of the frame or chassis skid plate from augering into the ground or obstacles. HMF's grab bar is also made of 6063 T52 aluminum. It feels light and strong, as you'd expect from a premium quality US-made product. With so many racers choosing HMF, we'd like to see the addition of a rear number plate mount. A built-in whip flag mount makes the grab bar a great option for trail riders and duners alike. HMF's headlight and tail light block-offs for the YFZ450R are made of lightweight aluminum. They mount up to the stock light mounting locations, covering the open area and wiring after the lights have been removed, helping keep mud and debris out while providing a smooth finished look. Used by names like Walker Fowler and Chris Borich, GPS Wheels Victory Lock Beadlock wheels were certainly good enough for our race build. They're constructed of especially heat-treated 190 wall thick 6061 aircraft grade aluminum. Dual bolt patterns for both Yamaha and Honda allow the wheels to be switched from one brand of ATV to another. This is great for both owners and dealerships. GPS Victory Lock wheels are available with either aluminum or carbon fiber beadlock rings, offered in a variety of colors. Dual beadlock rear wheels like the ones featured on our machine are often favored by GNCC racers due to their extra security on rough, rutted woods tracks. GPS single beadlock wheels were used up front. A 4-1 offset front wheel offers the ideal width for lighter steering and minimum bump feedback compared to wider offset wheels. You can order the wheels separately or all together in GPS Victory Box, which comes complete with mud plugs for all 4 wheels. As we've seen at the GNCCs, spring rains and sandy tracks lead to deep ruts at some races. This is also the case at East Fork MX where we're testing. so we decided to run GBC's taller 22-inch Groundbuster 3 fronts and 21-inch rear Groundbuster 3 Pros, instead of the typical 21-inch front and 20-inch rear tire setup used on tracks with shallower ruts. Starting this build, Evan's YFZ450R was looking a little ratty for a project machine after some serious cleaning with Maxima BioWash and a complete quad-wrap graphics kit from FTR Powersports. We'd be proud lining up this YFZ450R at any cross-country race. Our YFZ450R entered this project with Hauser long travel A-arms, custom access front shocks, and a B&R Motorsports revalved stock rear shock. An RPM Dominator 2 axle is used out back, regarded by most pros through the decades as the strongest axle on the market. A precision racing steering stabilizer is another product you'll find on almost every machine on Pro Row, along with Fast Company Flex handlebars for their ability to reduce rider fatigue. A set of plush ODI lock-on grips and power mat handguards round out the handlebar setup. The seat is held more securely in place with 38 Motorsport seat pins. The seat is covered in a jet trim cover that paired beautifully with the FTR Powersports graphics. Young Cycle Works keeps the engine running strong and reliable, although relatively stock, utilizing a stock compression Wiseco piston. The clutch was swapped out for a stock 2009 to 2013 setup for durability. Strength is the primary reason that Sunstar's XTG520 chain is another product used by a lot of top pro G and CC racers. It's paired with a Sunstar chromoly power drive front sprocket and steel rear sprocket, running stock YFZ450R gearing. Rotors and pads from braking provide the strong, reliable stopping power needed for cross-country racing. Hitting the cross-country racetrack at East Fork MX, the HMF Performance Series exhaust delivers a deep, punchy, and pleasant 4-stroke sound for spectators. It's a race pipe, but inside the helmet, it's not offensively loud, even through a 2-hour race. Paired with a Vortex ECU, the power band was significantly broader than stock, pulling harder at lower RPMs with no discernible stuttering or hesitation when you crack the throttle. This makes the YFZ450R a little easier to manage in tighter sections or lower traction conditions. Mid-range power was significantly improved, making time on long steep climbs or powering out of turns. HMF's Performance Series exhaust also wakes up the top end, allowing you to hold on the gas a little longer on long straightaways, which can make the difference in making the pass or not. Overall, we're very impressed with the fit, performance, and sweet sound of the HMF Performance Series exhaust. The combination of the taller GBC Groundbuster 3 tires and GPS wheels proved to be an outstanding choice. The larger size of the 22-inch fronts and 21-inch rear Groundbuster 3 Pros had the YFZ450R sprocket and rotor guards dragging noticeably less often in the deeper rutted sections of the cross-country track, allowing us to ride more aggressively with less concern for damaging the quad. With 190 wall inner and outer halves on the GPS wheels, we felt very confident beating on them mercilessly in ruts and on jump landings. If we got a flat during a ride or race, we'd expect the GPS wheels to get us back to our pits or the finish line with no problem. We found ourselves running a slightly lower pressure than we typically run with a 21-inch front and 21-inch rear Groundbuster 3, due to the taller tires' added volume, finishing our testing with 5 pounds front and 4 pounds rear. The larger Groundbuster 3s provided a slightly more supple ride over roots and rocks. We could have added a tooth or two to the rear sprocket to maximize engine performance with a larger, slightly heavier tire and wheel setup, but they seem to have virtually no negative discernible impact on performance. Traction is all we could ask for from a cross-country race tire. hooking up well in loam or hard pack conditions, whether they're wet or dry. The front tires steered very precisely, and the back end hooked up or drifted as desired. Although the taller tires raise the YFZ's center of gravity slightly, their impact on cornering speed and flat turns seem pretty minimal, due to their low profile and willingness to slide predictably. We definitely recommend this wheel and tire combination for deeply rutted trails, for racing, or as a good all-around setup for the recreational rider on a 450cc machine or larger, looking for a single tire and wheel combination that would work well year-round in all conditions. Of course, having an ATV with a dialed chassis and suspension, thanks to the Hauser Racing A-arms and Custom Axis front shocks, RPM Dominator 2 axle, and B&R Motorsports revalved stock rear shock, allowed us to push the other parts we're testing to a much higher level. As we've known for nearly 2 decades, you can't ride nearly as hard for as long a period of time without the addition of a precision racing steering stabilizer, which this machine greatly benefits from. Flex handlebars from Fast Company really help protect your hands and joints in your upper body from impacts that aren't fully dampened by the suspension. They're a big deal in cross-country racing for a reason, and a great upgrade for any ATV, making longer rides more enjoyable and less fatiguing. The Gripper Jet Trim seat cover looks good and pays bigger dividends the wetter and nastier conditions get. HMF's heel guard and foot peg set feel very solid and secure underfoot. The wide foot pegs help disperse impacts on the bottoms of your feet, greatly appreciated at times when you frame out on a jump or log. Dual rows of sizable teeth on the pegs with kick-ups on the end help keep your feet feeling secure on the pegs, even in wet conditions. The netted heel guard design lets mud fall through, while adding protection in case your foot slips off the back of the peg. Overall, we were very happy with their performance, with our only complaint being that HMF doesn't offer them for more popular sport ATV models. Besides making the YFZ450R look smoother and more complete with the lights removed, post-ride cleaning proved that HMF's light block-offs help keep mud out, easing cleaning a bit as we'd hoped. The combination of the HMF Performance Series exhaust and other motor bolt-ons adds sufficient power for most racers in the woods. The addition of HMF's other hard parts, GBC's championship-winning Groundbuster 3 tires and GPS wheels, make the YFZ450R nearly race-ready. Add in the mandatory precision racing steering stabilizer and flex handlebars, and you've got a YFZ450R capable of winning races at the local level in our area. Narrow up the chassis and dial in the shocks like this machine, and you'll have a YFZ450R capable of racing at a pretty high level everywhere in the woods. This HMF YFZ450R is a great example of what can be done with the Yamaha for cross-country racing. After filming this test, Evan and this YFZ450R went on to clinch the Ohio Cross Country Racing Expert Class Championship. Looks like next time, we'll have to do a pro caliber YFZ450R build. For that project, a number of the products used in this build could certainly be sticking around.